Isn't it lovely? Try it on.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most historically accurate and inaccurate costumes in period dramas, both movies and TV. Minor spoilers to come.
Do you like with ruffles or without?
Have you been paying any attention?
Number 15. Inaccurate. Vikings. Quick, what do you think of when you think of the Middle Ages? If you thought of anything along the lines of leather, then you have been a victim of period fantasy TV and deserve compensation.
They will pay the price. You were lucky. I spared you suffering. But I will not spare them.
Vikings, of course, is set around the 790s and early part of the 800s, which makes this costume cliché even more glaring. In reality, Norse people wore wool, colorful linen, and animal skins. They also did not have cool horns on their helmets, alas. That said, the show is based on legend, particularly Chieftain Ragnar Lodbrok, so historical accuracy is certainly a bit of a tall order.
And as a ruler, I
Have the last say.
Me! Not you! Not you! Not you! And not you!
Number 15. Accurate. Les Misérables. The film adaptation of this classic Broadway musical went above and beyond to deliver the gritty reality of this Victor Hugo classic. The costume design was no exception.
Ah, yes, the virtuous Fantine, who keeps herself so pure and clean. You'd be the cause, I had no doubt.
Designer Paco Delgado did extensive research, taking inspiration not just from early 19th century literature, but also from Goya and Delacroix paintings. In the end, he created over 2,000 costumes, with red, white, and blue color palettes. The film was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Costume Design, and won the award for makeup and hairstyling for its efforts.
I was there. Never fear. I even found me this fine souvenir.
Number 14. Inaccurate. Westworld.
Tell us what you think of your world.
Some people choose to see the ugliness in this world. The disarray.
This time-jumping, reality-bending science fiction juggernaut isn't necessarily going for historical accuracy, yet it does pretty well in its Old West theme park. The hard-to-find exception, if you're even looking for it, is the style and wear of the corsets. Victorian-era corsets have a hook-and-eye busk in the front that clasps right over left, and are commonly designed straight across the top of the bust, but come to a point at the hips. However, some of the characters on the show, in particular the saloon girls or sex workers, can be seen sporting the garment with the point going through the middle of their chests, meaning that the corsets are being worn upside down. And okay, maybe they were in a rush to get dressed, but Dolores's corset is also upside down, and worse, wouldn't exist in the 1880s.
We didn't mean to bother you. No bother at all. It's a beautiful spot. I always find it a shame that I have it all to myself.
Underbust corsets like this came into fashion around the turn of the 20th century. Number 14. Accurate. Phantom thread.
Excuse me, Mr. Woodcock.
Yes.
I would like to say that I hope one day I could wear one of your dresses.
Oh, thank you. If that's your wish, I hope it comes true for you.
A film about a renowned fashion designer should undoubtedly have good costumes. Phantom thread does not disappoint, delivering lavish and even unique results.
I think I don't like the fabric so much.
Well, Alma, this fabric is adored by the women who wear our design. It's perfect for this dress.
Cyril is right. Cyril is always right.
Set in London of the 1950s, costume designer Mark Bridges made high-end dresses as beautiful as they are convincing. This is no low praise, since Bridges could not actually make costumes too close to real-life haute couture designers. The wedding dress is especially a standout. The results are the stunning result of 6 months of labor, and the film went on to win an Academy Award for Best Costume Design.
It's rather interesting. Very good work.
Number 13. Inaccurate. Dirty Dancing. This iconic movie may be set in the past, but filmmakers just couldn't leave the future behind.
Hey, thanks a lot. You want a job here?
Throughout the romantic drama, Baby can be seen wearing a pair of denim short shorts. We may not think much of this now, but if you wore those shorts in the 60s, you'd get a few strange looks, because jean shorts like these weren't yet in style this early in the decade.
Spaghetti arms, would you give me some tension, please? You're invading my dance space. This is my dance space, that's yours. Let's cha-cha.
The movie came out in the 80s, and jorts only really started to gain popularity in the 70s at the earliest. So having Baby wearing them is an anachronism. That, or she's just invented a popular trend way too early. Though it's hard to stay mad when Baby's fashion sense has endured so well.
That little wimp, he would know a new idea if it hit him in the pachanga. He wanted some new ideas, I could have told him some new ideas.
Well, why did you let him talk to you that way?
What do you mean, fight the boss man?
Yeah, tell him your ideas.
Number 13. Accurate. Little Women.
Oh, Meg, that would look so lovely on you. I know just the dressmaker to send you to. You'll be the prettiest wife in Concord.
Oh, John needs a new coat for winter, and Daisy and Demi need new clothes.
And his wife needs a new dress.
The only Academy Award that this movie won was for Best Costume Design. And while we would have liked to see it earn more recognition, we can't deny that Jacqueline Duran deserved it. The story made famous by Louisa May Alcott is set in the 1860s. And while director Greta Gerwig modernized some aspects of the tale, the costumes are fitting for the era, and Duran made sure to look at period-accurate paintings so they would be.
I scorched my dress, see? There. And Meg told me to keep still so no one would see it. You can laugh if you want to, it's funny, I know.
One liberty that Gerwig and Duran agreed on was that they didn't want the actresses to wear the restrictive underthings that were popular in the era, so they skipped some of the bodices and hoops, which gives the final looks a more carefree vibe.
Joe, that's so boyish.
That's why I do it.
Well, I detest rude, unladylike girls.
Well, I hate effective.
Number 12. Inaccurate. Pride and Prejudice.
My goodness, did you see her hem? 6 inches deep in mud. She looked positively medieval.
Considering Lizzie Bennet often goes for walks outside, sometimes in the rain and mud, it only makes sense for her to wear a practical pair of shoes, like waterproof Wellington boots. Unfortunately, the movie is set around 1790, while the book was set and published in the 1810s.
Kitty, what if I told you about listening at the door?
Wellington boots weren't really popularized until the first Duke of Wellington, whom they're named for, defeated Napoleon at Waterloo in 1815. After that, they did become a popular choice in sensible footwear for the aristocracy. But Elizabeth simply would not have owned a pair if the movie were accurate. Even Jane Austen, who died in 1817, probably didn't have a pair either.
Don't say that. Why ever not? So blind.
Number 12. Accurate. Macbeth. Jacqueline Duran was also the woman behind the costumes of another 2010s period film, 2015's Macbeth.
All hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
William Shakespeare's famous tragedy was first performed in the early 1600s, but it was actually set in Scotland in the 11th century. Considering the time period, finding accurate sources on clothing were likely difficult to source.
Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
To find inspiration for the costumes in the film, Duran used a book of folk costume through the ages type of encyclopedia. Because of the remote setting, she kept things simple, yet still striking.
Out, damn spot. Out, I say. Hell is murky.
Number 11. Inaccurate. Pearl Harbor.
Welcome, ladies. Hi.
Hi. Michael Bay's epic war movie might be about a pivotal moment in American history, but that didn't stop him from taking liberties with the accuracy of what was put on screen. One of the chief offenders is that none of the women in the film are ever wearing stockings. Going out with bare legs would not have been done in the 1940s, even if you were in Hawaii's tropical climate. In fact, women depended on nylon stockings so much that there were riots over stocking shortages due to rationing in the mid-40s, when 40,000 women in Pittsburgh fought over 13,000 pairs of stockings. They were even sold on the black market. The women in Pearl Harbor just would not have gone without.
Oh, don't lie. All I know is I hear you crying when you think I'm asleep.
Number 11. Accurate. Elizabeth. The 1998 film Elizabeth received plenty of criticism for the liberties it took with history in order to make the story work.
I am no man's Elizabeth. If you think to rule, you are mistaken.
There have even been critiques that the costumes don't closely reflect what the queen would have worn at the time, but there is at least one scene where what the character wears is flawlessly accurate. In the section where Elizabeth is crowned, the filmmakers used a copy of Elizabeth I's actual coronation portrait and based Cate Blanchett's outfit on it.
God save your majesty.
While Elizabeth didn't win an Oscar for costume design, the 2007 follow-up Elizabeth the Golden Age did take home the statue.
I too can command the wind, sir! I have a hurricane in me that will strip Spain bare if you dare to try me!
Number 10. Inaccurate. Amadeus.
Is it not good?
It is miraculous.
This dramatization of the life of Mozart plays fast and loose with the truth, including the rivalry between Mozart and Salieri. They were friends in real life.
Do you mean it?
But the costuming is far from perfect too, which is an even bigger crime when you consider the movie won the Oscar for Best Costume Design in 1985.
Why? What has happened?
You don't know what it's like.
They certainly don't hold up a few decades later, but even if you don't have a background in costuming, you'll still be able to spot zippers in a few scenes, which weren't invented until the 1890s, first appearing at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, over 100 years after Mozart's death. Number 10. Accurate. Mad Men. The costumes in this award-winning period drama are crucial to creating the reality of its time period. Costume designer Janie Bryant had a time replicating the iconic early 60s fashion, including 50s cinched waists and silhouettes.
I'm sorry I, overdid it. You're out of the business a few years and things change.
Please, I'm overwhelmed with the style of you.
The women wear cigarette pants and print scarves, while the men don suits and loafers. As the show went on, Bryant incorporated more 60s-style graphics and shapes before finally including the flower patterns and bell-bottoms favored later in the decade. Even years after the show left the air, Mad Men remains an example of excellent costume design, with many finding inspiration in the characters' iconic looks.
Go home, take a paper bag, and cut some eye holes out of it. Put it over your head, get undressed, and look at yourself in the mirror. Really evaluate where your strengths and weaknesses are, and be honest. I always try to be honest. Good for you.
Number 9. Inaccurate. Robin Hood. Lacing is a staple of Renaissance fair garb the world over, so of course the BBC series about our favorite legendary outlaw shows it in their costumes.
Will you tolerate this injustice? I, for one, will not.
True, lacing was a common, though not the only, way to fasten clothes before zippers. But lacing usually serves a purpose, to close the opening. Only the wealthy could afford decorative lacing, so it was used minimally, not like a patchwork quilt holding together strips of fabric. It was also pulled tightly, and any gaps would reveal only undergarments, never skin. This 2006 show, set in the Middle Ages, features tons of unnecessary lacing, often with metal grommets too, which weren't invented until the 19th century. What purpose would grommets serve along the neckline?
Good night, Isabella.
Good night, Robin Hood.
Number 9. Accurate. Atonement.
Write it all down, just the truth, no rhymes, no embellishments, no adjectives.
Jacqueline Duran appears on our list again for her work on the 2007 film Atonement. While there are many gorgeous period costumes worn in the movie, the one you certainly remember is the stunning green gown that Keira Knightley's character wears in what is perhaps the most critical scene.
What was in the version I was meant to read?
I don't know, it was more formal, less...
Anatomical.
Yes.
The dress is slinky and nearly backless, and to settle on the design, Duran studied fashion tomes from the 1920s and 30s for inspiration.
Why are you crying?
Don't you know?
Yes, I know exactly.
She acknowledges that Knightley was a little more naked than a woman would have typically been in the era, but that backless dresses were in fact very much in style. Number 8. Inaccurate. Outlander. The star's time travel romance is known for its exquisite costumes, but no show can be totally accurate all the time. One of the striking inaccuracies is Claire's gorgeous brown floral dress in Season 2, Episode 5, set in 18th century France. While costume designer Terry Dressback added panniers to it to make it more 1740s, there is no way a bright floral print like this would exist in that era.
I'm sorry, Annalise.
Suddenly I'm feeling very unwell.
The fabric is in fact a 1940s chintz from a store in San Francisco, and the dress is designed more in line with a Christian Dior bar suit. But considering Claire is actually a 1940s woman, it makes sense that she infused her modern sensibilities into her 18th century clothing.
You're really unwell, Sassenach. Is it the beer?
No, I'm fine.
Number 8. Accurate. Jackie.
I was just so happy that he could be proud.
Many period films are working with general eras for inspiration, but in the case of 2016's Jackie, the costume designer had exact historical references and knew that the audience would be looking for discrepancies. Designer Madeleine Fontaine said that for the key scene where JFK is assassinated, Jackie Kennedy wore a pink suit that viewers would surely be familiar with. So they made a copy that was as close as possible to the original.
So help me God.
They needed to get the shade of pink to look perfectly accurate and tried several different ones to be sure it appeared right on camera.
People be watching. There were wanted posters everywhere for Jack, with Jack's face on them. Let them see what they've done.
Number 7. Inaccurate. Pompeii. This historical disaster flick may have been largely forgettable, but don't think we missed this glaring error.
Severus, I have a question for you. On my journey from the harbor, I noticed some of your townfolk turn their backs towards me. There wouldn't be some kind of problem with this.
Kiefer Sutherland's Senator Corvus is certainly imposing, but even he wouldn't have dared break a law supposedly laid down by Emperor Nero himself.
I am Senator Quintus Attius Corvus. May the gods grace me to bless your kind hospitality.
You're most welcome, Senator.
As soon as Nero got into power, he made it completely illegal for anyone except the emperor to wear purple, because purple dye was so expensive to produce that it was the ultimate status symbol. If Corvus had really dared to wear purple, you can bet he wouldn't have stayed a senator for long, since, among other things, Nero was famous for elaborate torture methods and was even accused of starting the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. Number 7. Accurate. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
See that staircase? It's there just so the ladies can walk down in their finest dresses and everybody can watch them.
Well, there you go. You can do an entire act on that completely asinine. Oh, you don't want to make fun of it, you want to walk down it.
Well, that new green dress is just dying for some attention.
The 50s and the 60s never wear us out with their endless variety. This period comedy especially offers the most accurate costumes of the modern era since Mad Men.
So you're going to another party? It's the 4th one this week, isn't it?
4 this week, 3 last week, which of course means they've already seen everything in my closet. Enter yours.
The costumes were done by the award-winning designer Donna Zakowska, who had the not enviable task of conveying the series' many flash-forwards through costuming. Zakowska took inspiration from a variety of sources, from Audrey Hepburn to New York Bohemian to Victorian sailor suits. The hard work paid off. Zakowska won a Costume Designers Guild Award for her work on the show. Its marvelous protagonist, Midge Maisel, has become a fashion icon in her own right.
Wow.
Good luck.
V-look.
Number 6. Inaccurate. The Last Samurai. It's clear that they paid a lot of attention to history while making The Last Samurai, though there are aspects that remain controversial.
Good God.
Notably, the samurai are shown to be opposed to the westernization of Japan because they see it as harming Japanese culture, which in reality they didn't like their power being taken away.
What does it say?
I belong to the warrior in whom the old ways have joined the new.
The samurai weren't as tied to tradition as they seem in the movie, and the armor they and Tom Cruise wear during the final battle had already been abandoned a long time ago because it didn't offer protection against guns. The Japanese, though not necessarily samurais themselves, had been using guns for centuries by the 1870s, just like in this climactic battle.
You have your honor again. Let me die with mine.
Number 6. Accurate. Barry Lyndon.
Thus, Barry fell into the very worst of courses and company, and was soon very far advanced in the science of every kind of misconduct.
Considering the lush 18th century setting, Stanley Kubrick's historical drama is rife with over-the-top costumes. The movie is based on the book The Luck of Barry Lyndon by William Makepeace Thackeray and tells a story of artful social climbing. While many of the costumes and hairstyles in the film may seem too extreme to be accurate, in fact, they are close approximations of what people wore at the time. It's no surprise that Milena Canonero and Ulla-Britt Söderlund took home the Costume Design Academy Award that year.
What, may I ask, is the price of this one?
Well, this is one of my best pictures. But if you really like it, I'm sure we can come to some arrangement.
Number 5. Inaccurate. War and Peace. While fashion-forward ladies of the 1800s wore sexy, sometimes revealing gowns because of low necklines, soft diaphanous fabrics, and the occasional shoulder, you would never see bare backs, ribbon straps, or sleeveless gowns in this period.
His natural son, of course.
Did he have any other kind?
Yet the party scenes in episode 1 of the frequently well-done BBC miniseries based on Tolstoy's novel features all of these atrocities. From backless frocks to spaghetti sleeves and crossover straps, the dresses run the gamut, but rarely match what would actually have existed in this period.
It is for the young ladies to make themselves pleasing to you now, rather than the other way round. As you can see for yourself.
Gillian Anderson's asymmetrical gown, with one side a period-correct puff sleeve and the other just a bust, takes the cake for historical inaccuracies. Not to mention, that's daywear? No. Just no.
Oh, don't tease me. It's not fair.
Number 5. Accurate. Memoirs of a Geisha.
You look beautiful.
With your hair like that, you look more like a pumpkin than ever.
For the 2005 film Memoirs of a Geisha, audiences were transported to Japan in the early 20th century, an experience that was helped by the costuming of Colleen Atwood, who was rewarded with an Oscar for her work on the movie.
You are ready.
She acknowledged that the film is not a documentary, and therefore some liberties were taken in order to craft a more modern silhouette for the geishas. But Atwood took inspiration from museum exhibits and books, as well as consulted experts on kimonos for the designs. The obis used in the film were so heavy and tight-fitting that they had to limit the bathroom breaks that the actresses were able to take during shooting.
Today, even the cherry blossoms are envious of her.
Number 4. Inaccurate. Django Unchained.
Bright day, huh, bright boy?
Sun is up.
Shining on all of us.
The unique sunglasses Django dons might look cool, but unfortunately they didn't exist in 1858 when the movie set. While there were primitive attempts to make eyewear that protected from the sun in the early 20th century, they weren't mass-produced until 1929, and familiar styles like Django's wouldn't have cropped up until years later.
You got a problem with your eyeball, boy?
No, sir.
You want a boot heel in it?
No, sir.
However, this is far from a mistake, but an intentional anachronism on costume designer Sharon Davis's part, and serves as a reference to the distinct sunglasses Wild Bill Hickok sports in The White Buffalo. When Tarantino later found out that the sunglasses were part of spaghetti western history, he loved it.
You mind telling me what the hell you doing?
Number 4. Accurate. Anna Karenina. Jacqueline Duran was added again in 2012's version of Anna Karenina, and took home both the Academy Award and British Academy Film Award for her work. Both Duran and the film's director, Joe Wright, made some occasional choices to stray from accurate historical pieces.
May I have the honor of bringing you an ice? Ices are being served.
I would prefer to try a cigarette.
Duran said of Wright that he, quote, likes stylized pieces and he likes them to be accessible to the modern eye. They wanted to pair the aesthetic of the 1950s with the setting of the 1870s. And to do so, Duran meticulously studied paintings and photos from the period in order to achieve the desired effect.
Yes, why don't you? Rescue her and put your seal on the fiasco.
Number 3. Inaccurate. Braveheart.
I am William Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny.
Described as one of the most historically inaccurate movies ever made, there are a lot of issues with Braveheart. But the offense that concerns us here is William Wallace's trademark outfit, a messy combination of things that were already outdated and other things that didn't exist yet.
That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Kilts, for instance, might be emblematic of Scottish culture, but they weren't invented for some 400 years after Wallace's death. Meanwhile, the woad, or blue face paint, hadn't been used for nearly 1,000 years. Julius Caesar described the Celts as painting themselves with woad in the 1st century BC, but modern scholars even question whether he was talking about woad or copper, since woad ink burns the skin.
Where are you going?
I'm going to pick a fight.
Number 3. Accurate. The Crown. Period dramas with long timelines are always tricky to pull off in terms of costume designing.
To that end, I have something quite specific in mind. Mrs. Kennedy may have dazzled in Paris, but let's not forget France is a republic. This is a monarchy. And if you got it, flaunt it, I say.
This series in particular focuses on the reign of Queen Elizabeth II starting from 1947, going all the way to the 90s. Costume designers Michelle Clapton, Jane Petrie, and Amy and Sidonie Roberts created inspired pieces for the royal family in their public and private moments. Of course, they were also obliged to stick close to the historical record as the show entered decades and events still within living memory. Thus, Princess Diana and her famous revenge dress are faithfully recreated.
The prince and princess remain focused on their public roles. But there is little doubt that the War of the Waleses has entered a new and more volatile phase.
The costumes for the series have since been featured in several exhibitions, which speaks to the quality of the work in question. Number 2. Inaccurate. Reign. There is no question the CW show following young Mary, Queen of Scots is not even trying to be historically accurate, and still it developed a following for its beautiful costumes. That would make sense, considering the gowns were the height of fashionable designers, modern-day fashion designers.
There's Mary.
Costumer Meredith Markwork Pollock chose dresses from Alexander McQueen, Oscar de la Renta, Rudolph Valentino, and Isabelle Marant, among others, to clothe Mary and her ladies-in-waiting. She gave each of them their own style: Lola, soft and romantic; Greer, structural and overly dressy; Kenna, the billowy bohemian; and Mary, a warrior princess at the height of fashion. But that tight-fitting black McQueen gown with a peekaboo cutout cleavage would never be seen in the 16th century.
Will that be enough?
Number 2. Accurate. The Great Gatsby.
A caravansary of billionaire playboy publishers and their blonde nurses. Heiresses comparing inheritances on Gatsby's beach.
Baz Luhrmann's interpretation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby was of course going to be an over-the-top visual extravaganza, helped in part by his wife and frequent collaborator Catherine Martin, who designed both the costumes and sets.
I'm paralyzed with happiness.
The setting of the Roaring Twenties was rife with opportunity for sumptuous dresses and flashing jewels, and Martin took full advantage, working with Miuccia Prada and using many vintage pieces. They pulled looks and trends from both the 20s and 30s that were seen on the runways at the time. Some criticized the decision to not flatten the women's chests as they did at the time, as well as the fact that not all the styles were popular in 1922 specifically.
I'm certainly glad to see you again.
I'm certainly glad to see you as well.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Inaccurate. The Tudors. This Showtime cable hit is definitely not known for its historical accuracy, either in plot, characters, or costumes. In fact, they often try to avoid it, going instead for a modernized reinterpretation in order to be more relatable.
I like you already.
Except for the chin. What is there not to like?
In their effort to show the protagonist, King Henry VIII, as a sexy rock star, costume designer Joan Bergen frequently clad Jonathan Rhys-Meyers in sleeveless black leather vests.
Do you like this cloth? I think it suits Your Majesty very well.
The ladies surrounding him also expose their arms frequently, wearing off-the-shoulder or completely sleeveless gowns, even corsets with nothing under or over them. Showing this much skin would have been unheard of in the 1500s. The scandal.
Who are you?
Anne Boleyn.
Number 1. Accurate. Marie Antoinette. In many ways, screenwriter and director Sofia Coppola didn't intend to make a historically accurate version of Marie Antoinette's life for her 2006 film. She hired an American actress, Kirsten Dunst, to play the title role and didn't even have her change her accent for the part.
Letting everyone down would be my greatest unhappiness.
I am pleased Madame is taking this seriously.
But one place in which the film strived to reflect the truth of the past was in the costumes. Thanks to a relatively large budget, at least for what kind of film it was, costume designer Milena Canonero was able to produce lovely gowns that were clearly based on portraits painted of Marie Antoinette during her life.
This, madame, is Versailles.
While some inaccuracies based on narrative purposes are present, the results are nonetheless colorful and evocative of French royalty in the 1700s.
Oh, Leonard, you're the best. It's not too much, is it?
Which other period costumes do you feel can't be praised enough for their historical accuracy, and which ones miss the mark entirely? Let us know in the comments down below.